So 83% of 581 asked fancied a tactic with as many people as possible holding position. So a little while ago when we did everybody roaming, this is going to be the absolute opposite. So challenge accepted. Build a tactic with as many players holding their position as possible. Beautiful roaming, ticker-tacker, fluid football.
Not today.
Hold position Barcelona is a go. The easy part of this tactic build will be the team instructions. We can kind of do what we want. The players and the player roles and the player instructions, that's what we've got to keep a focus on. Some really popular roles such as Mazzala are out the window because they've got hard-coded roam from position. But all is not lost because roles like advanced playmaker, you can actually tell them to hold their position. So potentially I'm not as scared about this as I thought I was going to be. So I chose Barca to do the exact opposite for what they're known for. So all the players won't have a license to roam around. We're going to make them pretty much stick to their positions. We'll start from the back. So full back positions, automatic, they are super fluid. Obviously, they can do whatever you want. If we go to wing back, you'll notice when we go to support or attack that we can't tell them to hold their position because it's such an aggressive role. However, if we do want attacking from the full backs, if we drop this to defend, it will naturally hold position. So I think that's what we'll go for. In defence, if you choose a defend duty, they will naturally hold their position as part of their hard coding. So we'll just go for the standard ball playing defenders. So that's my back four sorted. Midfield, if we're going to take a defensive midfielder in there, we have a few options. Deep line playmaker naturally holds, so does anchor, half back. The other ones like Regista and Roman playmaker and Segunda, they're out the window. If you want an all-round role though, where we can kind of manipulate, we'll go for a defensive midfielder on support. We'll add in hold position, but I've chose defensive midfielder because it's a bit of a blank template and we can possibly move some of these into it as well. In midfield, we talked about Mazzala being a no-go, obviously Roman playmaker, duh. But the others, pretty fair game other than box-to-box midfielder. But I'm going to go with central midfielder on support. I'm going to add in a few PIs as well to help me along the way. But obviously first up is hold position. Out wide, wingers and inverted wingers does allow you to drop in hold position. If you drop it up to attack, it doesn't. So we'll have both on support and hold in position, either inverted or normal winger. My thinking is then, if they're going to hold their position, we need someone near them. So let's drop an attacking midfielder in there. We can't have him on attack though. So again, he's going to support duty with hold position. And the final one is the striker. Now, not many of these are going to let us do stuff. So false nine, Trequartista's already got roam from position, as has complete forward. Some of the others will let us do it though. I've plumped for pressing forward on support. He'll be my striker holding his position. So I've got my base team down. Every position there holds their position naturally or with the added hold position. There's going to be no movement. We're just going to have to rely on basically player skill and a few team instructions to help us on our way.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
So we're going through pre-season and to my surprise, we absolutely battered Bayern Munich. So looking at the match, obviously we have runners. They're not just going to stand still. It just means that they're not going to roam around and leave their positions. You can see there we've got our winger either side, so they're nice and wide. That's our central midfielder support. That's our attacking midfielder. And you can see back here, there's the left wing back, right wing back. They're not bombing forward like you'd expect normal wing backs do because they're happy to sit deep. As the ball plays on, they're still pretty deep. Everyone's kind of in their positions. Xavi's getting forward. It's looking good. And as the third is about to go in, everyone's still in their designated zone. Look, you've got your wide players, 2 and 10. That's where they should be. 7 and 3. Everyone who's due in the midfield is in the midfield. And your 2 centre-backs. So we're nearing the end of a pretty successful pre-season.
Barcelona.
We're going to finalise the tactic we're going for. We've added a couple of player instructions here and there. I'm asking cross more often for my wing-back to try and find some goals from somewhere. Asking my defenders to dribble more, but they are still holding that position. Central midfielder will take more risks, dribble more and hold. So kind of fighting against each other there. There's all the player instructions for the winger. Same on the other side. Your advanced midfielder just holding his position. Same gig with your striker. Team instructions down there. Pretty basic stuff with a balanced mentality. Now what will be tricky here is obviously Barcelona have high expectations of a title challenge. So if we absolutely bomb, we might find ourselves out of a job here. So I was naturally a bit worried when we lost away to Sociedad early. And not only that, look at the state of the match. Granted, they didn't have many shots, but we were pretty toothless. But maybe that was just us getting used to it because we did start to look a little bit better and we beat Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid.
And again here against Sevilla, if I pause it there, you can see everyone in their designated zones. The wide guys wide. There we go. They're not roaming from their positions and all central midfielders. Those three, you can throw a blanket over them. In the first El Clasico, we Real Madrid got the better of us. That was 3-1. But at the halfway point of the season, it was still going pretty well. We sat second in the league with just 2 defeats. We're only 3 points behind Madrid, and interestingly, we've only conceded 9 goals. We're not scoring many for a Barcelona team, but only conceding 9 is fantastic. And we've made it through in the Champions League, but unfortunately for us, we've drew Liverpool already. Let me take you to this impressive win against Getafe. So normally when we look at average positions, it kind of roams about a bit. Not today. There's the average positions with the ball. You can see that's exactly how we set them up. Without the ball, back into shape. For an overall position of that, that's pretty much exactly how we have them set out. More good news here as the Super Cup final, so the lesser of the cups. We beat Real Madrid in it. Pretty comfy as well, 3-0. It's not the worst tactic I've used in the world, this. It's pretty boring, but it's getting the job done.
Real Madrid.
We also beat Madrid in the league as well to get revenge. And how about that game against Liverpool in the Champions League? They scored from a set piece, but teams are having to work hard against us to score, and we managed to get an equaliser. First leg 1-1, probably should have got the win. And in the second leg, because we've got all these players on hold position, we're so hard to break down, and we nicked one at the end. We knocked Liverpool out. That's huge. I don't care if they had 10 men. That is still huge. That meant we got Inter in the quarters. We beat them at home and same score away to get to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And the team was starting to enjoy it. Chemistry was up. We are like prime 90s Arsenal here. It was another 1-0 win, this time in the Spanish Cup final. So that's 2 trophies down for the team. In the closing stages of the league campaign, we're just behind Real Madrid. It's our goal scoring that's let us down. We've only scored 62. They've scored nearly twice as many, but our defensive record is fantastic. We've had 22 clean sheets. Our problem has been chances created down in 5th. You wouldn't expect that from a Barcelona team. In the Champions League semis, another English team. This time it was Arsenal. And over the 2 legs, again, they couldn't break us down. They didn't score a goal. We scored 3 in the home leg and got through to the final. Teams are really struggling to break us down. Look at this. We've got the ball here and everyone is just kind of sat in their positions. Watch them all. There's no roaming around here. They are sticking to their designated slots, getting the ball, passing it. But they're not passing moving as such. They're just passing and holding, passing and holding. It is doing exactly what we wanted it to do. And in defence, it's so hard to break down. For example, look what happens here when they try and counter-attack. Jesus gets it. He's got no one to hit because we're all getting back into our positions. And he ends up just smashing it upfield. It's actually mad how dormant they are when they haven't got the ball. They just stick to their positions. Look at them. Valdez got it. All these guys up front. There's hardly any movement. You've really got to rely on having some good quality players to get you some goals at least, because it's so solid, but nobody's moving. They're just sticking. So the league campaign was over. A couple of late draws meant that Real Madrid did coast the title, but we did have the best defence in the league. It would be really interesting to see what you could do using parts of this philosophy of hold position and then parts of your own more attacking stuff. So merging the two, you could get a really successful tactic. Having said all of that, we had made the Champions League final, and wouldn't you believe it, it's against my massive bogey team, Aston Villa. What are they doing there? So up against Unai Emery, we got the first chance with a penalty on 22 minutes. Lewandowski put it away, and we led all the way to the 92nd minute when Aston blooming Villa equalised through Nonto, and then in extra time from a corner, Ollie Watkins scored. Are you kidding?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Honestly, Villa and me have a bigger rivalry than Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I hate them. We nearly got the Champions League, which would have meant 3 cups and a 2nd place, which is way better than I thought we were going to do. So back to that tactic. Like I said before, you can use elements of that with some more expressive stuff higher up. You could build an absolute beast of a tactic. So there we have it. Hold position in match, they stick to their designated zones big time.